the yard.
This is Don the Diecast Pirate, and today I have for you a special Redline restoration of a Chaparral 2G from 1969. I believe it's copyright 1968. It was a 1969 second year release from Hot Wheels. And if you'll notice, it's missing a few things, but let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, it has no wheels, it has no hood, and it has no wing. So here it is, original Spectra Flame Green. And this is a US car, you can tell by the clear glass. We'll see how well that'll clean up. And just the two holes on the bottom, it doesn't have the slots for the axles to go in like the Hong Kong cars did. So there it is. Yeah. So now that we have that, I hear a delivery truck coming. And here it is. UPS truck just came by with the delivery. And to start with, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 brand new medium bearing wheels, Redlines, from Bright Vision. We have a new wing, reproduction wing from eBay. I don't remember who I bought this from. I bought it a long time ago because I have another one somewhere that I was going to do a restoration on. And I almost didn't do this because I've had these parts for a while. But I came across this thing the other day on eBay and I couldn't resist. Now this is an original hood, Spectra Flame Purple. And if you look here, where it connects is intact. And I didn't try to force it on. The passenger side does slip on somewhat snug, and I don't want to keep shoving it on there, but I think this is going to work out very well. We may have to maybe slightly go into there with just a file just to open that up just a hair, so the driver's side will, well, actually the driver's side's oh, this is a right-hand drive car, so the driver's side goes on. Passenger side doesn't want to, and I don't want to force it yet because we're going to take this apart and get it all cleaned up and everything before we do that. So yeah, this should be pretty fun. I don't have any stickers or anything to put on. I might have, but I don't think I'm going to try to put stickers on there. We'll probably just paint it. And where did I put the paint? Oh yeah. So I decided, the hardener for the Spectra Flame paint, and I have not painted green yet. So this is going to be fun. We're going to take this back to the original green. I looked at the purple. I love purple, and I have a lot of purple to put on cars. But I was like, you know what? I haven't done the green yet, and I really want to. So how about if we get this thing taken apart and cleaned up and get it ready for paint and make it a green car. So let me get it drilled apart and then we'll come back and take a look at what the parts are. Actually, let's change this up a little bit. I had somebody comment the other day that they'd like to see more of the process in the videos, and something that's been bugging me in my recordings is the fact that I keep holding my hands in front of the camera and not showing you, and I need to pay more attention to that, because like I'm looking at it right here and you can't see it, and I need to hold it down more in front of the camera, because I kind of have the camera over to the left a little bit so it's not right in front of my face, and I tend to forget that the camera is looking right here. So you have a center punch, okay, and I'm going to try to get this on camera, but I like to get my face really close to this. So I'm going to try and hold it in front of the camera, and we're going to hit this a couple of times. Actually, that looks pretty good right there. And then one more time back here. Now, I can't tell you offhand what size these drill bits are, but I'm going to use these T-72 screws, and what that means is we are going to get a couple of those. Okay. I can't remember who it was a while ago turned me on to these crayon boxes from Walmart, and maybe I just saw them there and picked some up. But you know, when you're working on your cars, whatnot, you want to keep all the parts together in one place. You can get these for $1 each. You put the stuff in there, you can snap the lid closed, and then all your stuff is together in one place. So we're done with the center punch. Is that the right tap in there? How about if we don't lose the screw? Yep, that looks about the same size. Clean that off a little bit. Now, I like to use the 3-in-1 oil. You have to use something, because you don't want to just do this dry. Okay, what happens is your drill bits will wear out prematurely. Instead of actually cutting, they'll just wear down. They'll still do the job, but you just won't get as many uses out of them. Okay. And I had to take this to work the other day to do something, and I see now that tore that up a little bit. Now I like a good variable speed drill. This mini Bosch. I bought it for my work, and I actually don't use it for that. I did use it one time the other day for the first time, and I've been on the job for 3.5 years. But when I decided to get into this hobby, I was like, you know what, that would be perfect. So up until that point, I was keeping it in my work truck, and I decided to bring it home and use it for this. Now, a lot of guys have jigs and vices to put these in. I like to hold it in my hand and just go slow. Just make sure that it's gonna go where I want it to go, and not walk off like that. This one's kind of loose in its point, or something, so this just go slow, keep it where I want it to be. Hope I'm showing this. All right. You see how fine those chips are, and there's a word for that, and I forget what it is. Okay. So there's that. I think this front one's going to have to be a shallow screw. So we'll get to that too. Normally I wait until final assembly, but I'll try to show you what I do with that too. So there's the front one that came apart easily. Okay, and let's get the back one. Same deal. Don't let it walk off. This variable speed drill, this is where this really comes in handy, because you don't want something where you pull the trigger and it's just going full blast, because you're going to get all screwed up on that. Guarantee it. Unless you have a jig and one of those, I forget what they're called, a drill press, right, where you can control where it goes. Let's take it slow, get those shavings off of there. Okay, no more. I just like to watch what I'm doing. Go a little bit, and look at it, right? Remember, you can always go a little more if you need to, but if you go too far, then you're either screwed or you're going to have to do some work to fix it. One or the other. Okay, that feels loose. I don't want to go too much. Alright. So that separates nicely. And we have this nice US base. Interesting that we may have to see if we can push those axles back down in place and get that where it belongs. We should be able to do something with that. It looks like a piece of that one broke off. That's why that came out. Same on this side. And I wonder if it was like that from the factory. But we'll get that cleaned up. Then we have the interior and the glass. Okay. And those look like they should clean up very nicely. I don't have another glass for this. I just noticed there's a nick on that. We'll live with that, or see if we can polish it out some. So there's that. Now we have this file here. And all I'm looking to do is take off a little bit of that burr. Okay. So now if we look at the screw, okay, look how much of that post we have, and like we can go in that far. Where that thick part is, we can stop right there. Okay, and that might be okay with this. It looks like it might hold the. Okay, we'll see when we put that in. And then on the back one, same deal. We might be able to go a little deeper on the back one with drilling. Okay, but let's switch out to the smaller drill bit. Okay. And then again, we'll put a little dab of 3-in-1 oil on those posts because we want to make sure that we don't snap off the drill bit in the post. That would make for a bad day. Now I used to put a piece of tape on here to kind of guide me, and I stopped using that because the shavings from the drilling would get stuck on it, and they wouldn't see the flutes on the drill bit are there to direct that material away, and when you put a piece of tape on there, it stops them. So I don't use those anymore. Now this is one of those same deals where we want to make sure we're going into the center of this post. If this drill bit was any bigger, we wouldn't be able to do this. I think I'm going to hit that one more time with that center punch. I'll get both of them, I think. Take your time, right? See how that's doing that? Where those are coming out all in one? That tells you have a nice sharp drill bit. Just let the drill bit do the work. Just give slight steady pressure. Let the drill bit do the work. And you can go a little faster. Okay, we're going to stop right there. And then what I'll do is stick the drill bit in, see how far it's going, and then that gives me an idea where I'm at. Okay. There's shavings out of there. So that right there, yeah, I'm already past. Not quite, a little more. Okay. The back's not so, we have a little more room on the back because of the engine on the top. The front, I think, we have to be really careful about not going too far. Otherwise we could drill a hole in it. So again, start out slow. Make sure it's going straight in. Let's see how far it's going. So right there, you can go just a little more. Okay. So if we look right here to see where that's going to, we'll go right beside. I mean, I think that's good right there. Now, just tap it, make sure we're getting all those shavings out of there. And then we want to hit each one with a little dab of oil again. So when we put this tap in, we're not going to break it off, and we're going to kind of cut threads easily. Now this, I mean, I'm just holding this in place, and I'm turning slow until it bottoms out, and I'll back it off very carefully, making sure that I'm not tearing up those threads as I pull it out. And then the same thing on the back one. And I got these tools, like, I can't tell you offhand what size the drill bits are, but these tools I bought from Bright Vision. So if you're not sure, you can get them from them. The information is also online. I do have it on my phone. If I remember, I'll put it in the description for those of you who want to know. Me, I don't keep that information on the tip of my tongue. It's just whenever I need to order more is when I look that information up and get what I need. Okay, so we're done with the file. Let's put that away. We're done with the drill. So get that out of the way. Now, and this is what I love about drilling over top of a paper towel. The cleanup is just that quick. Because I could do it over the mat, and then I'd have to wipe up the shavings. So that was just something that I did as a time saver. Okay. So then I want to take this screw and just start it in there. Now, that bottomed out and it didn't go all the way in, so I have a feeling that we're going to do the same thing on the front one. And it's even more shallow. And I'm not going to do it right now on camera, but I have this mini bench grinder, and where is I have 11 in here somewhere, or you can use a pair of needle splice. Here we go. And I'll put a paper towel down as well. So I'm not going to demonstrate this on camera just because it's so noisy. But I'll give you an idea what I do. Okay. So I grab a hold of the head of the screw and the pliers, and I grip it super tight. Get this going, and I'll take the tip of it and just grind it down, and then you'll end up with a burr on the edge where the thread is, and just kind of knock it off all the way around, and then fit it in the hole until it doesn't bottom out anymore and it goes all the way in. But that's normally something that I do at final assembly. That way I can grind the screw for the hole that it's going into, and I don't have to. If I ground these down like right now, what might happen is, one's going to be shorter than the other, and then when I pull them out, I have to look at them and see which one's which. If I do it right as I'm assembling the car, then that's another time saver because I don't have to stop and look to see which one is which. So, now, unfortunately, I do not strip my cars here at the bench. I take them to the kitchen, by the kitchen sink, and I don't have this set up out there. Let me go take a look and see if I can get these things set up to where you can see what the next steps are. Okay, so one more thing before we actually go out to the kitchen. I was gonna wait until I strip this down to fit this hood, because I want to get in there and polish this, clean this up the best I can. I know that side's going to go on. I think what I'm going to use is this flat needle file. And just get in there and just take a hair off. Still too tight. So then I'm not trying to grind into it, I just want to just take a little off until it fits on. I'm looking at what we have here. Yeah. Alright. Not quite, I think just a little more. I'm really not putting too much pressure on that. See, it's tight on that side too, so yeah. I can tell it's doing something. I don't want to take so much away that it won't stay on when you open it. I think what I'm going to do is this is the one that I've used for opening up holes in hoods, and it looks like this one's kind of wore down. So just put that in there until it barely fits and then roll it out. It's almost there. It's almost there. I know I have more of these in here. This is the set that I bought originally, and I may have to buy another set to get one like this. These are diamond needle files. Okay. It feels like it wants to go. But not quite. Not quite. I know the one side. Oh, here's another one. This one's better. It's a little smaller, but alright. One more time. Why? Oh. Like, it feels like it's on there, but oh, you know what? This must be a Hong Kong hood. So, right there, it's not fitting, right? So I can get it on this way, but that's as far as it goes. It won't, if I go to close it, it pushes off because the posts are hitting. So, the question is, do I want to remove material in here, or do I want to remove material from the inside of the hood? I have to think about this. I'll be back. Okay, so I have a few different options here. Taking this down would require removing more material. Taking this down runs the risk of damaging these attachment points. I have a few different options here. I have this needle file. Okay. I don't know where I left off, but pretty much, if I take the material out of here, I have to take more material. If I take it out of this, I don't have to take as much. I just have to be careful that I don't hit those pinch points. So I'm going to start out with this needle file attachment on my Dremel. And just very carefully open that up. On both sides. Alright, let's see how that fits now. Okay, and we have to go more. In all actuality, I wouldn't have to take these posts all the way down. Like, it would only have to be, it would only have to go as far as this needs to pivot, right? I think I have more control working on the car. See how that's gonna look. We're getting there. Not quite there yet, but we are getting there. Right. It's almost going. Still pushes out. Looking at it from the bottom. Okay. Alright. What is the hold up? Oh. There's a huge thing right there. As I'm closing it, it's hitting the exhaust and it won't go down. So that offending piece must go. I was not anticipating that. How should I go about this? Interesting. I think I'm going to try a different attachment on the Dremel. I don't want you in that far. Back here. Alright. What do we have now? Okay. Back to this. Getting there, guys. Goes a little more each time I do something. Let's try to see what it's catching on. I really should have got pictures of this before I took it apart. I'll probably set it back together and get my before pictures. Almost. And that is how you make a Hong Kong Chaparral 2G hood fit on a US car. It's not for the faint of heart. I don't know if I can make it stay on because it just wants to pop off now. May look at after this is all said and done, take that center punch and just hit each one of those one time, pinch it in. Alright, so we're going to have several things going on here all at once. When I talked about the ultrasonic cleaner and putting the mean green in, I use the super strength. I also use this for cleaning around the house. It does great work on everything. But in general, for just cleaning up parts, I use Dawn dish detergent. This is the area that I come to in the kitchen where I strip in my parts, put the bases in lime away in water, and in general, you know, like this one here, this stuff here, if I put this in the ultrasonic cleaner, it's going to clean up very nicely. In this case, I'll simply scrub these with Dawn dish detergent and water. Also, I got one of these screens for the drain because this is where I clean my airbrush off too as well after I paint something. So what we're going to do for right now is I'm just going to set these aside out of the way so my harsh chemicals don't hurt them in any manner. I'm also going to set the base aside because I always use the stripper first. Okay, so we'll put these two pieces in here, and then we'll get the aircraft paint remover. Now, and the reason that I do this out here is because it's also a more open environment, and I'm not sitting down at my desk with my face right in the chemicals. And this stuff cleans up with water. So I'm just going to get enough in here to coat those parts. And I also call this the awesome sauce, and you'll see here why. And there's some guys that won't use this stuff because it's so harsh. I'm okay with it because of the speed. Like, I've read up on the citrus strip and seen how long it can take. Now, with get my face on further because of the camera, but normally I don't do that. Let me throw this away, I'll be right back. The only downside to doing this out here is the trash can in my kitchen is across the room. It's not right here. But, like, I don't know if you can even see what's going on there. So it's already taking that stuff off. Now I want to set clean paper towel over there. So then I'll use my tweezers, get them in the screen here. Use my tweezers so I can hold the pieces, and then just take the toothbrush and brush the paint right off. And it's very shiny where the paint was still on here. So I have high hopes for this. I don't know how well it's going to shine up. If it doesn't shine up as much as I would like it to, then we will hit it with the silver base coat. More likely what I will do, if that's the case, is spray the base coat on everything and then attach the hood and do the color coat over the whole thing all at once. The downside to using this is, you know, if you get a little bit of splatter on you, it does burn. I do have nitrile gloves that I could be wearing while I'm doing this, but in all reality, I have the water right here, so if I get a little spot on my hand, I can just run underwater right away, which is another reason why I really enjoyed. I prefer to do this out here by the sink. And you can see this, the purple paint is just coming right off, and yeah. Now, because water does neutralize this, sometimes I'll just let the cars soak. Like I stripped like up to 5 cars at one time when I was getting at this, you know, going heavy, and before I took my little break there. In all reality, I stripped 5 cars faster than 10 cars, you know, 10 minutes per car. So we'll get water going. Move the camera back, I think, a little bit, get you a better overall picture here of what's going on. I'm not trying to hold water in the sink. I usually check that, but since I was recording, I didn't do that stuff. And then just run water all over it. Right. And then once it's neutralized, I can just take it in my hand and brush it. Oh, I can't even tell if I'm getting all this. Okay. Now, brush that all off well and good, but I'm going to do an extra step on that body since it's so fitted and had all that corrosion on there. And we'll do that once we get this all turned up. Okay, so the hood is practically perfect, and that's not going to go into this next step. Let me get this cleaned up, and then we'll get that going. and do two things here. Well, actually three. So we'll take the Dawn dishing detergent, clean off the tweezers, so none of that aircraft remover is on these at all. Also helps clean up the brush, and then I go ahead and clean up my dish. And this is just a like a butter dish or something that I got at Goodwill one time when I was in there. So there's that. Yeah, let's do about that much water in there. And then get the lime away. I'm gonna have to pick up some more of this stuff this weekend. The bottle's getting a little low. I'm not breathing when I put my face down there, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna get the stopwatch set up on my phone here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the body in the base and start at this. And I think I'm going to let the base stay in for like 3 minutes. And we might let that body sit in there for probably some time, maybe a little bit longer. So, 30 seconds now. So, minute and a half so far. I usually don't hold the phone in my hand like this. I'm just doing this for the camera. So, about another minute. And that's the same deal. These this stuff just cleans up with water, and we'll get this. So I'm gonna set my phone aside about 30 more seconds. Yeah, I think the body sat in there too long and started turning black. So that's okay. We'll see what we can do with it. The main thing is the reason I went ahead and put it in there is because there was corrosion on the body, so I wanted to get it in the lamoy, get all that crap over there. So, all right. And this next part always stinks. Washing that stuff down the drain. Again, soap and water, clean my tools, so I can scrub this down. Should have saved some of that. Let me get a little more. I need to clean up get the strainer back in there. Almost forgot the interior in the glass. Back in here. Now at this point, if I was going to do a normal paint job, like not SpectraFlame, I would go ahead and mount the body directly to a set of helping hands. I would have a nitrile glove on and put it directly in the air fryer to dry. As it is, there's a sticker left on there. We'll get that cleaned off too. As it is, it's 11:30 at night. I'm not going to stay up half the night to finish this car. So I'll meet you back in the living room. So here's all the parts directly from the kitchen. The interior and the window cleaned up very nicely. We'll just set those aside to dry. Just had a little bit of paint residue down in these crevices on the hood. And any of that stuff's coming out. So I don't think we really need to do too much with this hood. I'm not going to worry about that burr on the back. We'll just let that go. I was hoping that this sticker, whatever this is, would come off of here in the runaway water, but it didn't. It looks like there's still some corrosion there. What did I do with my X-Acto knife? Seems like it should be right here. Oh, there it is. Okay. I hope I'm getting this on camera. Let me rearrange this thing a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so I think what we're going to try to do here, yeah, it's some good stuff on it, some good sticky stuff holding that on. I wonder if I could be careful there now, Don. Let me, there's a little bit of green paint that should come out with buffing. Alcohol. That's a purple rubbing alcohol. I cannot have too much of this stuff now. I don't want to pour this on my table, so we'll just set that in there. And I should take that sticky stuff off, I would think. This also works good as what you call it, before I paint a car, just wipe it down, let it air dry, and that guarantees that there's nothing sticky on no oils or anything on the body of the car. I wonder if I should just add a little more there. And I thought that was corrosion that didn't come off, and that was sticky from that sticker. And I'm wondering, so some of these cars back in the day, I've seen some pictures on Facebook where they had stickers on the bottom of them from the Mattel, and obviously this car was never going to be worth anything in the condition it was in, so I don't know if this is going to add any value to it, but I would think a complete car is worth more than the condition that this was in. Okay, even though it's not original. So let that air dry. Oh, what did I do with that box? Oh, here we go. Now, so there's 3 different coarseness of these. And I don't know that I necessarily need to hit it with the harshest one. So there's the medium and the fine. I'll probably just go over it lightly with the fine. And see what that gets us. I think very good variable speed Dremel, right? Because you don't need. I want to be careful of those bearings. Maybe we'll go a little harder, a little faster. I'm just looking to knock off all the corrosion and everything. I don't think we can get that fitting out of there. Just being very careful not to hit that bearing. Okay, so talked about a little bit ago for me, a little bit ago for you too, how these axles are bent, and I've heard it said several times by several different people that there's nothing you can do about those. Well, I beg to differ. Okay, probably just because I'm stubborn that way, but you know, hey, whatever. So I'm trying to do here is get that back in where it belongs. I may need to get, there we go. So just like that. Okay, now I'm not going to try and straighten those out just yet. What I want to do is, I think this one might be used up. Nope, there's a little bit left in it. Okay, so we want to get a dab of super glue in there. Right, get it down there, in on the axle. Some more. Okay. And then let's hit it with the Instaset. A little dab will do you. Okay. So let that dry out, and then when we straighten those axles, they should stay where I put them. That's, yeah, just like that. Alright, so we'll set that aside to dry, and then we'll work on the car itself. So This is actually looking somewhat decent for what it's started as. Remember, this is just the fine grit. Alright. Yeah, we got some stuff there that's not going to buff out, so we will still have to go over this with the base coat. So I don't think I'm going to give this a super shine with like flicks, but we'll just go over it. Actually, not bad for what it started as. See how this hood's fitting now that we have everything all cleaned up. It's looking pretty decent. So alright, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'll come back tomorrow and get this cleaned up, dried, ready for paint. And actually, there's still some corrosion and stuff in there. Alright, well, I think what we're going to do is one of the things that I really don't like, because I usually end up getting things stuck on my feet for a few days after I do this. Brass wire wheel. The other thing I don't like about these is the way my eyes are. I can't really see what's going on there unless I look over my glasses, and I don't like having my bare eyeballs where these things are whirring around. Alright. Yeah, it's going to turn out okay. And now that I'm looking at a few things, see, without the paint, you can see all the flaws right there, right? Just a little bit of a burr. And here I go. Not showing on camera yet. Let me readjust that. Okay. A little bit of a burr right there. Let me look through the camera. I don't know if that's showing up or not. So, right there on the top. Now, that smacked into something, huh? We'll let that go, I think. It's right there. I think we'll let that stay. I mean, this car is never going to be perfect. So, I try not to obsess over these things too much, you know. It's all fun. This is, yeah. I don't know if I want to go into the engine with the base coat. Think about that. Think about that. If I attach this now, I'll cover the whole thing in base coat. So it's even finish on the whole body. And then we'll just let the engine be what it is, right? One of these is not so pointy. This is the one I have in my hand. This is the one that I want. Almost want to have like a screwdriver or something over top of this, but we'll see. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it, Don. Why is that? I don't know. There's not enough light, Don. Can't see what he's doing. I really gotta think about this one. I need to squeeze that some. So it's tighter. I think I opened it up. With all the work I did on this, it made these smaller, so it's not fitting as tight as it was to begin with. And I have an idea, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Yeah, I think what I need to do is take one of the, probably the smallest drill bit that I have there, and drill into each of these posts. And then I have paper clips. Take a piece of What did I do with that over there? That's probably more than enough for what I would need. So we'll test drill into something, see if that small one will work or the next size. Somewhere here I picked up the chucks I need for these bits to use them in the Dremel. So, alright, that's it for tonight. Alright, so I've had these drill bits for a couple years now. When I first was getting into this hobby, I saw these and I bought them. And I haven't used them too much because the normal attachments for the Dremel are all one size. Like I could use this size drill bit with it, but the others I couldn't lock them in place, so I think I've maybe used one or two with my mini drill. I was at Walmart the other day and I found this. So the different sizes that I need to run these other drill bits. So I think that's what we're going to do here. I think we want to start with this one. Right here. So yeah, so then just unscrew this. And this just slides right out. Get these other ones out of the way. There's your... Alright. Alright. Screw that down in there. And... there we go. So this will be the first time I've ever attempted this, and I am noticing that the drill bit does not want to go in there. Come on! How do I take this out? Okay, so I think I'm going to do, let's go ahead, that might be little small for that, but it should work. Okay, so there we go. I hope that's it. Let's take a look at one of these others here. So that'll be too big. Alright, so this is the one we need. And I think what I'm going to do is get that in there like that, and then very carefully slip this collar down over top of it. Get my wrench here. Now, obviously this is going to be a first for me because I've never used this small of a drill bit in the Dremel, and I've never drilled into one of these, so this could be fun. Okay, I see a problem already, and I don't know if it's showing up on camera. So the drill bit is not completely straight, and that's a problem. So if I shove it in more, let's see what happens when I run it now. It's not showing up on camera, but as it's spinning, I can see two tips side by side. So this drill bit's not spinning straight. So that was a nice thought. That is not going to work. So put the original collar back in here. Okay, so that takes us back to the mini drill. And I think in this case I want to shorten that up as much as possible. Okay, let's see. Perfectly straight. Now, I don't know if this matters too much. I think I do want to put a little dab of oil on these. So here's my thought from previous experience in drilling stuff. So the surfaces on this are not completely like flat. So I think what I want to do is start out on an angle and then straighten it out to go in. Okay, so let's just do a test fit on this one. And I think it is going in. There's a little bit of a burr where this was cut from the factory, but all in all, I mean, that's gonna work, because we don't need a whole lot. We just need enough to stick it in, and then when we secure it with the super glue, then we can bend it over just like that, or well, anyway, I might go a little deeper. So my idea is to drill these out, paint it, with the base coat separately, and then we'll put these in and secure them. Might need to do that before. Or it could be after. I'm not sure. Let's get the other one drilled. Okay, I think that's going to be far enough. Let's see how far this one goes in, if I'm getting it on camera. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. And like I said, those don't have to be perfectly straight down in, but enough to stick a piece of this in, secure it, and glue it in place. So we get those in. Yeah, so we'll get it in, glue it, whatever piece is sticking out, we'll put through the holes, and then bend it over, and that'll keep the hood from coming off. So there's that. I think at this point, I do want to polish the base with flits. So let's decide how we're going to secure this with the helping hands. Front post, back post, so that'll work. Or we can use this one. Now, if we use this one, you're not seeing here. Back you out. So if we use this one, we can get everything secured on one. So we'll get these taken to the sink, get them cleaned down, degreased, put them on the, I'll show you. Let's go do that, and then we'll come back and polish the base. Alright, so back in here with the sink, let's go ahead, get some water in here. We'll just add just a little bit of dish soap. Okay. And what I like about using the Dawn dish detergent is it's a degreaser, right? So any oils or anything that are on here will scrub off. Just get down in there, top and bottom, scrub it all out. Let's go ahead and get the hood while we're here too, right? So all that 3-in-1 oil we just put on there, that's going to come off of there. And then rinse it off with tap water. Now, one thing that I learned early on is if you just rinse them off in tap water and let them dry, air dry, it can leave contaminants on there. So that's why I like to run the alcohol over them before I paint them, and just take a microfiber cloth and wipe them down. Okay. So air fryer, and you notice that might be too tall to fit in here. So usually what I'll do is fold this over so it lays down, just like that. Probably didn't see it on camera, but just like that. Close it up, hit the start button. Our temperature is going to be way too high, so we're going to drop that down to 150. And this one comes preset at 15 degrees to start with, or 15 minutes to start with. So we'll just run that for 15 minutes, 150 degrees, and they'll come out completely dry. Alright, so while those parts are in the air fryer, getting ready for paint, we'll go ahead and get our buffing wheel in the Dremel here. And I usually don't do this on camera because I'm afraid it'll splatter the lens, but we'll see if we can avoid doing that. I've noticed that because when I first started using this, I was spreading it around on the buffing wheel and a lot of it was getting splattered off. So I started rubbing it on the part, and I have noticed in other videos that other guys have been doing that too, so I found the right strategy, but not the easy way. So I just want to run this as slow as it'll go and just take my time going over this. I want to avoid those bearings. Usually, and I've kind of figured out when I see that the flitz is turning that dark color, that it's really doing its best work. So once I get that work in, and we don't want to stay around in one place for too long, and then we'll flip this around the other way. Okay, grab this paper towel here. Let's just wipe this off and see what we have. Okay. So where it was all pitted and stuff is like the worst parts, and I don't think we're going to get all that out. Now we're going to add more pressure. I'm not really adding more flits to it. And I can really feel the heat starting to build in this. Gotta be careful that collar on here, it likes to hit things. But just that quick. Sorry, just that quick. We went from dull base to shiny. And I'll take this out. I'm not going to show you. I'll take this out. I'll clean it off with the Dawn dish detergent, just like I did the other parts. And then after we spray the base coat on for the Spectraflame paint, I'll put this in the air fryer with the other parts to dry. And then we'll bring it back and get the wheels on it and stuff. So in the meantime, the parts are drying. Actually, I wanted to try polishing this too. And I don't know how this is going to come out. All these contours and stuff. But we'll see. I've tried to avoid polishing the glass pieces with the Dremel because when I first started attempting this, I was burning through some. It's so easy to build heat in these with this friction from this buffing wheel, and I don't want to ruin this glass because I don't have another one, so I just that little bit. And I hope that's going to be okay. I think we'll find out. We'll scrub that down too and dip it in the floor shine. So, all right, I'll get this cleaned up, get the paint booth set up, and then we'll be back to lay the base coat on. The only downside to using the air fryer to dry the parts before painting is they come out hot. And occasionally, like this, one of the alligator clips let loose. So we're going to have to reattach that. So because these parts are basically ready for paint, I do not want to get any oils from my fingers on them. So I'll pull out another glove and get that reattached. Okay. And then very carefully bring this back up. Okay. Now, I wish I had a better lighting solution than this. So I've already mixed the paint as far as shaking it up. Don't need this glove. I do need to pick up some sort of breathing protection, because up to this point, using the Spectraflame paints, I haven't used any, and it's not good. So I will be looking into getting something this weekend. So there's that. Spectraflame paints, 5-to-1. These have 2 marks on them, so I can do the full thing 5 times and then 1 of the hardener. If I wanted to do like 5 halves, then I would do 2 1/2 and then do 1/2 of the hardener. When I painted the Maverick, and a lot of times on these cars I start out with basically 1 1/2, so it would be 1 1/2 of the hardener with the equivalent amount of paint. But I think I had to mix up more to finish the Maverick. I had to add another half shot of hardener. 3, 4, 5, and this stuff covers easier. So 1, 2 1/2. Okay. We'll get that out of the way. I need to stop setting those upside down. They're made so 1, they're designed so if you take them off the bottle and set them down the same orientation that you take them off, they drip to the inside and don't get in the threads. And I always set them upside down, and then the things get on the threads, and the bottles are hard to open. So we'll give that a good mixing. So I went ahead and put it in the air fryer for this stuff to dry at 175 instead of 150. Just because I noticed on that last one that the paint wasn't quite dry when I pulled it out after baking it at 150. So this is where I said I wanted to glue the paper clips in. So I'm going to let this cool down completely before I start working on that. And then we'll come back. And again, the hood was super shiny, but it wouldn't have had the same finish if I hadn't painted it with the base coat. So now the color's gonna match, which is what I was going for. So we'll let that cool off and then we'll be back. Alright, so this is where the magic starts to happen. Got the paint on. I need to go put it in the air fryer for a little bit. Just cure that paint before I touch it with my fingers so I don't put fingerprints in it. And then while that's drying, we'll get this other stuff together. Okay. See if we can get this open. This is another one of those things where this stuff, it gets into the threads on the lid and it doesn't want to open the next time. And I've been really trying to be careful about that. Looks like the threads are getting covered again. Probably the next time I open it I might have to clean those up. We're not going to do that right now. Now, one thing that I really like to do on these old interiors, if I don't pinch it and throw it across the room, just dip it in that floor shine that way. It really gives it a nice look to it. Getting a little bit of a frog in my throat here. Trying not to clear my throat. Don't like putting that sound in the videos. Alright, so just like that, boom. That is going to be great. Okay. And I think I'll just take my tweezers and rub this around the edge here. Just take some of that off. Try not to drop it in, you know. Okay. So we got our deep dish medium bearing wheels. So let's get that tool behind there, space it out. Holds that bearing on. I've seen some people, they'll actually start pushing the wheel on with nothing behind the bearing. I prefer to put the tool behind there and then just push that wheel on all the way. Alright. I have the body in the air fryer. I put it at 175 for 20 minutes this time. I think those lacquer paints take a little bit longer to dry. And I think we have a bit of an issue with this back wheel. Try. So what's happening is it has a left turn to it, and this isn't NASCAR, so I think what I want to do is okay. So that's this one, or this one right here is curved out. So I want to just try to bend that way. I may need to just do that. Let's see. It's rolling straight, but this one's not touching the ground. You know, I was trying to kind of push down while holding straight. And maybe it's not that one, it's this front one. Maybe this front one needs to bend a little bit that way. It's better, but not perfect. Okay. So I think at this point we're just waiting for that body to be dry. Go ahead and set that cover down over top of that. So when I go to assemble this, I'm going to be grinding these screws. And if those are still slightly damp, I don't want to get any shavings on them. So, let's come back when we're ready for that step. Alright, so I wasn't going to show this on camera, and I decided to go ahead and do it anyway because I explained it. You guys want to, some of you want to see this. Now, that being said, I always try to include a little something in my videos. I'll try to rotate it around so I'm showing something different in every one. Maybe I didn't show before. Sometimes I don't. But that being said, I'm probably not going to do another video to this extent because all this extra footage when I edit it adds hours to the editing process. Okay, so I'm probably going to release 2 versions of this video. I'll make one that's short and to the point, and I'll release. I'll probably call it. I don't want to use the word uncut, but because it won't be raw footage. I mean, I could just upload all the raw footage, but I don't know how many hours that's going to be. So, here we go. Oh. I see. I don't keep this plugged in all the time, I guess. I tend to forget these things. All right. Here we go. And I got to hold this really tight so the screw doesn't go flying. Let's take it down. There's a little bit of an angle there. Alright. I think these have been set long enough. We can go ahead and get our final assembly done. But I'm going to keep the car upside down until the final reveal. That way, we still have something to reveal and not just the car that you've already seen. Oh, one of those paper clips did come out. There we go. And just like that, it fits all the way in. And now we'll grind the other one down. Gotta hold it tighter. That'll twist. This one needs to be a little shorter. And this is super hot too, so you gotta be careful. Don't burn the fingers, right? And also be careful that I don't hit the pliers on my Leatherman on there. Let's see if that fits. If this doesn't go in all the way, I'll pop it back out, and that went in all the way. All right, let's get this cleaned up and we'll come back for the reveal. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you my fully restored Chaparral 2G in Spectra Flame Green. US car, Hong Kong hood. Doesn't quite fit right, but man does it look good. Let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. Alright, so we'll go back to what we started with and take a look at what it was and what it looked like. Now we'll let that roll around a little bit. Alright, so here we have it. Spectra Flame Green, U.S. car, Hong Kong hood, the deep dish, medium bearing, Redline wheels from Bright Vision. Dip the glass in the interior in the floor shine. Got a replacement wing for it off of eBay. And the only thing that I wish it hadn't happened is when I put it in the air fryer, the paint ran down to that side because I tilted it that direction on the back. And you know what? That's good enough for me. Because from what this car was to what it is, it started out flawed and it still has some flaws. And that's okay for a 1969 release, so it's a 52-year-old car. Like, come on now. Modifying the Hong Kong hood to fit on it. It doesn't quite fit right. It doesn't quite open right. It does open a little bit. It does close. But you got to fight with it. You guys stick around. We're going to get stuff rolling around here again. Got the Diecast International Builders coming up on the 15th. Impalas. And then starting in October, our release date is going to change to the 5th. And we got spooky cars, and I have no idea what I want to do for that. So we'll figure out something. I think I just might have got an idea. Why did that light just turn off? Okay, that was odd. Never had that happen before. But anyway, yeah, back to the Diecast International Builders. I think I just got an idea for that. Maybe. We'll see. Figure that out when the time comes. I got to get some boxes out tomorrow to some guys. One guy I owe some stuff to, and another one gotta send him some stuff. And then I'll get this video edited. And I get to pull out the where are they? Our subscriber's choice. Believe it or not, voting for this one is still open, so if you haven't seen that yet, go back and check it out. Voting will stay open until I do the release of the video, which I will do very soon. But I'm not going to do it tonight, so hey. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. I love you guys. I love the atmosphere of the community and the camaraderie and how we build each other up and all the great stuff going on. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below and click that like button. It really helps a lot. As always, this is Don the Diecast Pirate, and I will see you next time.